This is the story of a girl named Brian, who used to live completely alone in her house. Her house was located outside the town. After the death of Brian's mom, she had no one left in this world. That's why she used to live alone. Her mom had a dream to make a model of the town, which Brian now wanted to fulfill. She had created a full model of her town, which she kept fixing from time to time. Bryn used to earn her living by stitching clothes. One day, after stitching clothes, she was going to deliver them, when she saw a strange circle formed outside her house. She tried to erase it with water, but couldn't do so. Then, she took her car and left towards the town. Here, we come to know that the people of the town didn't like Bryn. That's why her house was outside the town. The reason behind this will be revealed later in the story. Bryn didn't really want to come here, but she was compelled to, because her mom was buried in the town's graveyard. That's why she came to remember her mom at her grave. When Bryn was returning from there, she saw many people there and greeted them with a hello. But everyone ignored her, meaning no one paid any attention to her. While walking down the road, she sees her childhood friend Maud's mom and dad. After seeing them, she hides. Here it was clear that she was strictly forbidden from coming to the town. Brian didn't want to live alone, but it was her compulsion. She returns home and writes a letter to her childhood friend Maud. Just then, the postman comes to her house, who had brought a box. In that box, there was a small school model that she had ordered for her town model. She becomes very happy by placing that school in her model town. In the same cheerful mood, she also finishes writing a letter to her friend, in which she writes, "Maud, I will never be able to forgive myself, and I think about you all the time." She always remembered her. In her house, there were also pictures of Maud. Maybe Maud had gone somewhere. What was the mystery of Maud? We will get to know about all these things further. One night, when Brian is sleeping, suddenly all the lights in her house turn on. After some time, all the lights turn off again. Then, she hears a sound of something falling outside. That sound was actually from the trash bin falling outside. When Bryn tries to turn on the lights to go fix it, none of the lights in her house work. When she comes downstairs, she sees that the door of her house was open, and there was a strange creature inside her house. She runs and hides in her room. When that alien enters Brian's room, she hides under the bed. She had seen the alien's feet from up close, which were very strange. But when that alien doesn't find anyone, it exits through the window. Now, Brian quickly closes the window. Then she feels like the alien is walking on her roof. So, she quickly goes downstairs and closes her door as well. Then, all the bells in her house start ringing. All the electronic devices were turning on automatically. Seeing all this, Brian calls the police. But her phone also wasn't working. The phone was in the same condition as her fridge. Actually, the alien was controlling everything. Brian, scared, goes and sits in a corner. Then, the alien comes close to her. Bryn looks at the alien's face carefully, which frightens her. She pushes the alien and runs to her room. Suddenly, there's an explosion at the door of the house, which hits Brian. The alien had done all this without even touching anything. It was controlling everything in her house. Now, when Brian is going toward the town model, the alien also knocks over the table. Then, Brian picks up a broken piece of wood from the table. When the alien tries to catch her, Brian hits the alien on its head with that piece of wood, which kills the alien right there. Seeing this, Brian gets very scared and spends the whole night sitting in front of the alien's dead body. In the morning, Bryn covers the alien's body with a sheet and calls the police, but her phone was dead. Along with the phone, all the electronic devices in the house had also stopped working. That meant all this happened because of the alien's death, since it was the one controlling everything. Seeing this, Bryn now tries to leave the place, but her car was also dead. Now she thinks about what she should do. Then, she notices blood coming from her head. She quickly goes to take a bath, and, after getting ready, blocks the entrance path with a sofa. Actually, during the fight with the alien, her door was blasted by the alien. She placed the sofa, but it was of no use. Anyway, now she takes a bicycle and heads toward town. There, she sees the postman's van, which was in bad shape. Even the house of the girl Bryn liked was completely destroyed. Outside her house, there was a circle just like the one we saw outside Bryn's house in the beginning of the story. After that, she quickly goes to the police station where Maud's mom and dad were. Maud's mom spits on her face. Seeing this, it was clear how much Maud's family hated her. Brian now understood that she would not get any help from the town, so she returns home crying. But on the way, she starts feeling sick. There was no one to take care of her. Bryn understood that just like the beginning of the story where we saw the circle outside her house, here too, an alien attack was about to happen. That circle was made by the aliens. Suddenly the postman attacks Brian on the bus. Actually, he was under alien control. There was something in his throat due to which the aliens had control over humans. The aliens didn't want any human to leave the town. That's why the postman was also trying to stop Brian on the bus. There were many more people on the bus who were also under alien control. Escaping from them, Brian runs and enters a church, but the door was locked. Nearby, she sees a graveyard. She goes inside and finds a grave that belonged to Maud. That means her childhood friend was dead, and she died because of Brian's mistake. That's why all the people in town hated her. So one aspect of the story becomes clear. Maud was dead, and Brian was the reason. That's why she always wrote letters to her friend asking for forgiveness. Then, Brian looks at the sky and sees that it is covered with black clouds. There were many alien spaceships in the sky. Scared, she runs and reaches the house of the boy she liked. There, many people were standing with their hands raised toward the sky. All of them had the same thing in their throats that we saw in the postman's throat. This meant that they were also under alien control. Later, when Brian reaches home, she sees the alien's dead body was still lying there, the one she had killed. Some strange liquid was coming out of its mouth. When she looks at the sky again, it was covered with black clouds. Brian now understood everything. Instead of being afraid, she begins preparing to fight the aliens. She goes inside the house and picks up a lighter. Along with that, she puts a pot of gutter water on the stove to boil. She closes all the windows and doors of the house. The broken main door, she blocks with a sheet and some nails. A while later, the nails she had hammered come out on their own and fall. This meant the aliens had arrived. First, they drag away the body of their fellow alien, the one Brian had killed. Seeing this, Brian hides in the basement. Then another alien enters her house and comes into the basement. Brian wants to attack the alien with scissors, but the alien had a power to pull everything toward itself. It even pulled the scissors from her hands. It also pulls the photo of Maud that Bryn had, and starts looking at it closely. Taking advantage of this moment, Brian escapes and goes upstairs. Upstairs, she sees a small alien. Though it was small, its hands were very long. It tries to grab Bryn with its hands. Brian frees herself from its grip and pours the boiling water she had prepared on the small alien. But nothing happens to the alien. Now, Brian hides in the bathroom. But the alien was so strong that it tears apart the bathroom door with its hands. Then Brian tries to escape through the window. Quickly, the alien grabs her legs. Brian picks up a broom and hits the alien. During the fight, the broomstick breaks. Brian then stabs the broken stick into the alien's shoulder and hangs it from the wardrobe. Then she slams the wardrobe door on its head. After so much effort, she finally kills the alien. When Brian comes outside, another alien was waiting for her. Along with long arms, this one had long legs too. Here, Brian doesn't understand what to do. Suddenly, the postman comes and takes her with him. He was still under alien control. The alien outside signals its fellows to come there. The alien spaceship had arrived. They wanted to take Brian with them because she had killed their companions. When white light comes down from the spaceship, Brian pushes the postman into it. But after a while, he falls back to the ground. This made it clear. The aliens only came to take Brian. The long-legged alien was also after Brian. It climbs on her house. Brian quickly hides in her car, but the alien reaches there too. Brian gets out quickly and locks the alien in the car. Then she throws a burning lighter in the car, causing a huge explosion. The alien dies because of the blast, but the white light from the spaceship was still following Brian. Running, she enters her house. There she finds another alien, the same one that had come into the basement. Instead of attacking her, it was staring at her photo. Then, Brian tries to attack it from behind, but the alien already knew. It attacks Brian and throws her far. Now, a red light enters Bryn's house and freezes her. She is now paralyzed. The alien comes close and takes out a strange thing from its mouth. Actually, it was like a parasite. This was the alien's weapon. It inserts the parasite into Bryn's mouth. In this way, it could control Bryn just like the others. The parasite now completely takes over Bryn's body. It controls her mind. Bryn is trapped in her dream world where she is living with Maud in the town. When she sees Maud in front of her, she says sorry and asks for forgiveness. Here, Maud tells her that this is just a dream. In reality, Maud is dead. So, Brian puts her hand in her throat and pulls out the parasite. As soon as she drops the parasite on the ground, orange light falls on it. That light was giving the parasite a new body, Brian's body. In the sky, there were many alien spaceships. Each had its own function. White light pulled people upward, red froze them, and orange created new bodies. Now, the alien created from the parasite attacks real Brian with a knife. She falls to the ground. Then the white light pulls her up into the spaceship, where many aliens were present. They place a finger on her brain to see her memories. Now we also get to know what happened in her past, why the whole town hated her, and how her friend died. In childhood, Brian and Maud had a fight. Maud pushed Brian. In return, Brian picked up a stone and hit Maud, killing her on the spot. Brian came back and tried to forget her sad memories. She fought the aliens. Now we see Brian living happily. The whole town talks nicely to her. Alien spaceships are still flying in the sky. It is possible the aliens still control the whole town. After learning Brian's memories, they fixed everything accordingly, because Brian was the only one who fought against them. So here, as per the name of the film, the story also becomes clear. No one will save you. You have to help yourself. No human helped Brian. That's why she faced the troubles herself. And with that, the story of this film ends.